Has been the ADT NBC Sports Update. ADT Security Services, the world leader in home and business security.
By Cushman and Wakefield. Hi, everybody, along with Karch Karai. I'm Chris Marlowe. Capacity crowd ready for our women's championship final. For the introductions, let's go down to Chris McGee.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls across the United States of America, this is Brooklyn, Coney Island, and it's the AVP on NBC. I like you guys right there. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Because here we go. Number 1 and number 2 will meet once again. The champions from Boston last week out of Northern California, the University of Minnesota, all-time Big Ten kill leader. Last year's most improved, the year before, the Rookie of the Year with 3 open wins. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicole Branagh. And a partner, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call MD most dominant at a UCLA, the 4-time All-American, 2-time Olympian, the 2004 bronze medalist, the 2002 MVP of the AVP with 38 open wins. E to the Y. Elaine Young. And here she is, ladies and gentlemen, from Archbishop Mini High School in Northern California, Stanford University, the 2-time national champion, 4-time first-team All-American, 81 open wins, the 2-time MVP, and reigning goddess of the beach, Carrie Walsh Jennings. And here she is, Coney Island, for you, the winningest player of all time in the history of professional beach volleyball with 84 open wins and the 2-time reigning MVP of the AVP at a Long Beach State, Misty May Trainer. Look at the crossover and the jumper, and it counts. Yes, Misty May Trainer. Hey, Brooklyn, I got one question for this group right here. Are you ready? Championship, this time in New York.
We hate losing, and winning just drives us and motivates us.
I like the way you move. I like the way you move.
Just off the parachute jump, crowd rocking here at center court, moments away from our women's championship final. Let's get down to the sand. Welcome in Heather Cox.
Chris, thanks so much. Misty May and Carrie Walsh had won 12 consecutive AVP titles until last week when they lost for the first time since April. Misty, how much is revenge on your mind today?
You know, Carrie and I, we just want to clean up our game, and we want to make it tough on them. We know they're going to come out banging. They got a lot of adrenaline going. They got the confidence factor. So Carrie and I just have to stay with them. We know it's going to be a battle, but we want to win this one. You know, we won Brooklyn last year. We want another victory here.
The opponent today, the team that beat you last week, Elaine Youngs and Nicole Branagh. What didn't you do last week that you need to do today to win?
You know, it's amazing. Usually we're the team that wins the longer rallies, and if you look back, they were the team that were, you know, kept us on our heels. They won the long rallies, and they came out aggressive. And now we got to switch the momentum. We've got to take it to them this weekend.
Misty, best of luck. All-time, Misty and Carrie are 48-7 in AVP finals. Those 7 losses, coincidentally, all at the hands of Elaine Youngs, and she's standing by with Mike Dodd.
Thank you, Heather EY. First of all, the left calf muscle. Can we put that story to rest? How's it feeling?
It's feeling good, and a lot of that has to do with I had a lot of rest at my friend's bed and breakfast at the Swan Lake Inn in Holderness, New Hampshire. Thanks, Ray. Really was great those 3 days off, and you know, we're going to have a great match today.
Get a little plug in. That's beautiful. Now, third final in a row. Can we call this a rivalry yet?
Well, rivalries are great in sports. They really are. And, you know, I feel like whoever I've been playing with, I've had a rivalry with this team. And it's Nicole and I now, and we look forward to it. This is the best team in the world, and we're going to give it our best today.
Best of luck. Back up to you, Chris Cartier.
All right, Mike Dodd, piece of the match today as we Nautica navigate the match. First for Mae Walsh.
Well, first for Mae Walsh, 1 week ago in Boston, Kerri Walsh stopped being that intimidating blocker at the net. Chris got only 1 block in the last 2 games. She needs to get that wall back up and scare those other hitters. Number 2, of course, revenge is normally best served cold, but they've got an opportunity, a rare opportunity, to play the same team and beat the team that they lost to last weekend. So they are hungry for that, as they talked about earlier. For Youngs and Branagh, high finger stingers. Their strategy was to go high at those fingers of Kerri Walsh, and that aggressive play worked well for them. They need to stick with that again this week here in Brooklyn. Number 2, a lot of people noticed how much fun they had on the court and how much celebrating and smiling they did. Find that happy place again, and they've got a good shot to do something that no team's almost ever done. Beat this Mae Walsh, this great team, twice in a row in finals.
Kerri Walsh just turned 29. She was a 2000 indoor Olympian and then, of course, won the gold medal on the beach in 2004. She didn't play beach volleyball until 22. Actually had to try out to play with Misty May, where, interestingly, she met her future husband, Casey Jennings, who was shagging balls that day. Misty May, born to be a volleyball player. Her dad was a 68 Olympic team member, Butch May, an All-American and the NCAA Most Valuable Player at Long Beach, and the AVP MVP the last 2 seasons. Elaine Youngs now has 38 career wins. She is tied with her good friend Nancy Reno on the all-time list. They are 11th place. Youngs, a former volleyball star at UCLA, still growing strong at 37. Nicole Branagh, a late bloomer to beach volleyball. 3 career wins, all with Elaine Youngs. And she is getting her act together. Played very, very well last weekend. Maybe the best tournament of her young career. So we will start off with Misty May in the green headband, hitting the ball straight down.
Well, you talked about Branagh playing so well the last couple of weeks. Elaine Young said that when they went into the tournament in Manhattan Beach 2 weeks ago, she said for one of the first times ever, partner, I need you. This calf's giving me problems. I really need to lean on you. You need to be a leader on this team. And she's been playing great ball since then.
Come on, back.
Branagh with a bad pass. She gets it right back. And she hit it out. So May and Walsh, expect them to come out hard. Revenge on their minds today. They have not been beaten in an AVP final twice. They've not been beaten once and then again, ever. Never lost back-to-back. Branagh. Misty, no, someone touched the net. So a violation there. Let's take a look at the Bud Light tournament recap for Kerri Walsh and Misty May. 2 straight all the way.
Well, they have been playing very smooth volleyball. Neither of them actually got home to Southern California to do much training together, but they have been having a very smooth road, and conditioning is certainly not a factor today.
Nicole Branagh set to serve. 2-1 here in the early going. Walsh leads. Branagh, very effective jump serve when she can get it in. Here comes Misty. And May taps it. So Misty gets the kill. Our Bud Light tournament recap for Branagh Youngs. Had a great semifinal against Davis and Jordan. 30-28 in the second game, a thriller.
That was just about an hour ago. Great match. They also got very much challenged in round 3. And earlier this summer, the story of their season was they were losing some teams that they shouldn't. Now they're not doing that.
That was Akers and Hansen that gave them all they wanted. Branagh takes a rip.
Branagh on 2-3.
So make it 3-2.
And Youngs and Branagh really wanted to make sure that they got off to a good start here. Any team as good as Mae Walsh, you don't want to let them break the game wide open early, and they're keeping it close after falling down 2-0 to start with.
May and Walsh shellacked Boston Ross in their crossover semi. Here comes Misty. And Misty off the top. Youngs goes and gets it. Branagh coming. No! Walsh is there.
Smart play. 4-2.
Kerry Walsh disappointed with her blocking effort in games 2 and 3 last week. She said, I had a couple balls go through my hands early. I thought that was a good sign.
And in fact, one went through Branagh's hands there. She did a little bit of a full Phil Dahlhauser on that one. Got a really low and tight set here. Tried to be aggressive with it, but that's the easiest kind of block for anybody, especially a great blocker like Kerry Walsh, to make when the hitter had to look backwards and couldn't see where she was.
4-2 May Walsh. Branagh gets a good set, and she puts it away. So for the third straight week, May Walsh, Branagh Youngs off to a good start. May Walsh by 1.
Ladies, here we go.
Crocs, new styles at crocs.com. Well, we're underway here in Brooklyn, New York. Game 1, Misty May and Kerry Walsh leading 4-3. Hey everybody, Chris Marlowe with Karch Kiraly. Well, someone once said that revenge is the most powerful motivator known to man or woman. If that is the case, Karch, May and Walsh should be fired up after losing last week.
Well, they were 15-0 this year in tournament finals. Amazing performance up until last weekend when Youngs and Branagh cooled them off just enough to squeak out that 16-14 third game victory. So now they're 15-1, but they are fired up to come back and win. Kerry Walsh talked about it. She played and replayed every single point of that match all week long and is really hungry to get that revenge.
Walsh and May, Branagh Youngs. Let's flash back. What a thriller this was. Difficult to give May and Walsh a game, but they did.
Well, they sure did. They lost badly in game 1 with a bad 7-point stretch. But other than that, played this team very consistently. May with a rare setting error there. We've never seen that from her before in that swirling wind, though. It was understandable. And then Youngs with the ace down the line. Walsh couldn't even make a move for it. And that's one of the reasons that Branagh Youngs have had a little bit of success against this team, is that they serve so much tougher, put them on their heels.
Yeah, Branagh Youngs now have a little bit of confidence against Kerry Walsh and Misty May. This is a team that's had some success, especially Young. She's won 7 times. And when you beat a team, Karch, you start to develop a little confidence.
And Branagh in particular has generated a lot of confidence, playing so well, helping her partner out with a calf injury. Now getting the trickler there, but helping her partner out in Manhattan Beach a couple of weeks ago, and then for the win in Boston last weekend.
Youngs and Branagh, a big, strong, physical team that seems to match up fairly well against May and Walsh.
Well, Youngs, as Heather talked about in the Open, matches up better than any other team. It's with Walsh and May being 48-7 in tournament finals on the AVP. The only 7 losses they've had, it's been Elaine Youngs and whoever she's been playing with this year, Nicole Branagh.
Now, we should tell you, Youngs has 7 wins, but she's also been beaten 26 times by May and Walsh. So they've gotten their licks in.
But she just keeps coming back, and I admire her tenacity.
5-4, bad pass, Youngs, no, too far. So a tough serve. May and Walsh, if they do have any kind of Achilles heel, it might be they don't serve extremely hard, but this one a good one.
No, what Walsh does here is she's serving cross court there. There's a bit of a diagonal breeze, and she's trying to serve the Tim Wakefield knuckleball into that, get it to move around, and it jumped up over Branagh's platform there.
Youngs, nice up from Misty May. And she drills it into the corner.
Well, that's what makes May so good on defense. And the tour's leading defensive player is that she can control that hard hit. And Branagh and Youngs, their strategy is to try to rip every ball and keep it around that Kerry Walsh block, hit it high off the hands, and not give Misty May too many open looks, open lanes to dig that ball. But that one, May makes a great play.
Walsh. Here comes Youngs. Youngs, a nice touch by Walsh. And squeaking it over, yes! Oh, Kerry Walsh with the bump kill. Precise.
Well, that's exactly what Youngs and Branagh want to do, is hit high off the hands. There's that finger cracker right there, but May tracks it down And Walsh with an incredible play there. You rarely see a kill off a bump from 10 feet away. Trickles it over the net for the point.
So Walsh with the kill, 8-4 so far in game one. May and Walsh putting initial pressure with a 4-0 scoring run here. Branagh takes the back set. The call was line, and Walsh was on the line.
And this is the kind of start that Youngs and Branagh wanted to avoid. Very dangerous to fall down by 5 points to a great May Walsh team.
Game one, May and Walsh humming. They lead at 9-4. Back at the Brooklyn Open, presented by Cushman and Wakefield. May Walsh off to a fast start at 9-4. Their regular coach, Troy Tanner, not here today for the second straight week. But in the huddle of Branagh Youngs is Liz Masakayan. Liz, your team off to a slow start. How do you account for that?
Well, I guess that's nothing unusual. I said, sure, if you want a repeat of last week, we're not doing very well on the second side switch. But, you know, Carrie's serving us tough right now. We just need to get a good pass. The sets are just a little tad too low and tight. So I want to give Nicole a little bit more room. So we switched her on the left. Let's see how she does.
Liz, you talked about changing quadrants, so it's just a much of a matter of wind direction at this point.
Changing quadrants. Oh, okay. No, it's just to give a different look and for Nicole to feel different on a different side. That's why she's very comfortable siding out on the left.
It's interesting how you often, the three of you, will communicate in the timeouts. One player will talk to you, and then the other player will talk to you, and it's kind of like everything's going through you. Is that by design?
I don't know if any of it's by design. I just kind of flow with it.
That's why Liz. That's why you're the coach and translator.
Yeah, mediator.
Is the plan to serve Misty most of the way?
For the most part, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It normally is, but there's not enough wind right now to get Carrie in the bad quadrant, so you know we're going to stick with what we know.
All right. We'll check back with you, Liz.
All right,
good luck.
Thanks.
All right, that's Liz Masakayan, one of the winningest players of all time. 47 career victories, which is 7th on the all-time list. As Branagh goes over the top and gets the no, it's well. Let's get the signal from the official. That's out of bounds. And point for May Walsh.
And Coach Masakayan, one of the toughest players. Also, he's got 8 knee surgeries and still came back and qualified for Olympics and just showed so much heart out there. She's got more knee surgeries than many players have wins.
11-5 our score. Branagh and Walsh with the rejection.
And that's the kind of block that Walsh needed in games 2 and 3 last weekend. Branagh is going to be very aggressive. This time, Walsh getting over her hands across the net and taking that middle angle that Branagh likes so much. Great block by Walsh. And when you hit it that hard and it comes back that hard, there's very little chance that it's going to come up.
Walsh already has 3 blocks. Branagh with 5 errors. And there's a nice tip there. So Nicole Branagh gets the kill. AVP's most improved player a year ago.
A nice adjustment by her on that one. After swinging so hard and getting blocked, figures, well, now I will go for a placement shot. I've gone a little off balance. Go for some finesse and then go back to the heat later.
Branagh wraps it. Misty's got it. And Misty cut shot out of bounds. Let's check out who's on top in the race for the season-ending championship, the Cup standings. Misty May and Carrie Walsh with a comfortable lead.
Well, especially, I'm actually surprised at how little of a lead Branagh and Youngs have in second place over Turner Walkholder. They're in their 3rd straight final now and playing much better in this latter third of the AVP 2007 season.
Turner Walkholder, after a great start on the AVP Tour, they faded a bit. They might be out of gas. They got a 9th this week. Normally they do a lot better. Here comes Youngs. Low set. Nice up. Misty May. No. Wow. And another point.
And it starts with the tough serving of Nicole Branagh here. Let's watch the whole point again. Watch this rocket down the middle and what Walsh and May have to do. May scrambling just to keep that in play. But now May is going to break to her left at the last second. Get that left arm out there. Walsh with a great set. May not quick enough to get the high approach there.
3 points in a row for Branagh Youngs. Now Branagh will continue to serve, trailing 12-8. And the serve is long. Game one. Midway through, Walsh and May up by 5. Elaine Youngs, who's had difficulties with her left calf, getting treatment. You think that's for a problem, Karch, or is it preventative to keep it going? You've got the same injury right now.
Well, they were working on her quad a little bit, so we don't want to speculate on what's going on there, but she did have problems with that calf a couple of weeks ago in Manhattan Beach.
Nice dig by Misty May. Walsh touched it, so she shovels it over. That could have been a double contact on the set. And Walsh admonishing Ryan McDowell. For more on today's match in the AVP Crocs Tour, you can log on to NBCOlympics.com. Just a year away from the Beijing Olympics, you'll find Olympic previews, AVP match highlights, player interviews, Karch's star player analysis, and previews. More Karch. You got wrap-ups. You got Karch. All of beach volleyball, you can see it at NBCOlympics.com.
But the most important thing, are we going to see you setting me this morning during our workout?
I
Got to
don't
get
know.
that on there. Breaking out the paddles. The big side paddles.
Misty May and Kerry Walsh leading 14-9, playing very steady here in game one, Karch.
They given up very few points when they are receiving serve. That's one of the reasons that this team is the best ever on the women's side, is how infrequently they give up points when receiving serve.
Branagh. And Branagh with a cut shot. That's the shot that's open on May Walsh, right there.
Soft cut shot by Branagh. She's changing her strategy a little bit in the sense of not ripping every ball so much. After getting a couple of blocks back on her side of the net from Walsh, mixing it up, mixing the pace, tempo, and location.
4-point advantage for May Walsh. And the serve into the net. Let's check in with Heather Cox. Heather.
Well, guys, the top team in the world, polar opposites when it comes to how they react to losing. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, Kerry Walsh is one of those players that rethinks everything. She said throughout the week she rethought every point in her head. Misty May said it's entirely different. She said, since I lost my mom and have gotten married, I've been able to put volleyball into perspective. The minute I walked off the court, I let it go. As long as I know that I feel like I gave everything I can on the court, it's easy for me to move forward. So the two of them handle it very differently, but it seems to work for them, and fortunately they don't have to deal with it very often.
You know, Heather, you're exactly right about Kerry Walsh. I was down at the beach early for the Karch Karai workout. I got here. There was basically nobody here at 10 a.m. Semifinal was at noon. Kerry Walsh walks up like a minute later and getting taped and getting lathered up. And she said, I am juiced for this one. I want to play them in the finals.
And, you know, being such a great team, you would not expect her to be the first one to show up at the beach. They've got things well under control. Yep. They handled that semifinal easily, but she is here preparing as well as possible.
Is the first one as that serve goes wide.
16-12, we're going to stay with
and a side change. 16-12 here in game one. A reminder, stay tuned and watch for the Banana Boat longest lasting rally of the match and your chance to win a trip to the AVP event at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. When we announce which rally was the longest lasting, you can log on to avp.com/BigBB BB for your chance to win. Banana Boat Sport providing long lasting protection. It's overcast here. The sun really hasn't broken through yet. Ideal conditions for volleyball players. Nobody up for Branagh, and she pounds it. She was a big-time hitter in college.
13-16.
The all-time kill leader at Minnesota, and played professionally in Europe and on the USA national team for a couple of years.
And she talked about enjoying that, savoring that victory from last weekend in Boston all week long, and got a lot of emails and calls saying, you two look like you were having so much fun together, just celebrating, smiling, making good plays.
Great serve by Branagh. That's going to be an ace. Boy, if you could hit it with that power card in that location, you are going to get many, many aces.
And that is the location that the serve ended last week's match, although it wasn't from Branagh, it was from Youngs, but very good location. First you hit the middle, get a player leaning one way, then go back to the line. Walsh just able to get one arm on it, but not control it.
Brandon Youngs were down by 7 at 12-5 at one point. They battled back to within 2. Branagh again, down the pipe! Another ace for Nicole Branagh.
And that's what the very best servers will do, Chris, is they'll hit it to different locations, just like a pitcher will hit different spots on the plate. Last one went to the left of Walsh. This one goes to the right of Walsh, and May can't get there in time. Right down the middle. Now May and Walsh have to adjust a little and see if they can force her to hit the other sideline. Cover more middle and more line.
Branagh Youngs now with 5 of the last 6 points. May Walsh concerned a bit. Their lead has shrunk to 1. Another big serve. May's got it. And she taps it down the line. Misty over the top. To make it 17-15. May Walsh have won 10 out of 12 AVP events, 5 out of 6 on the international tour.
And May doing a nice job of putting just enough heat on that one. There was a defender there. Branagh was waiting, but hit it hard enough to squeak it between her and the sideline.
Elaine Youngs. Oh, and Walsh got that one-handed, stretching out.
Well, yesterday Mike Dodd was talking about Phil Dahlhauser's great eye work. Watch what Kerri Walsh sees right here and reads and reaches that left arm right in there. Great read by Walsh there, just with the one arm. The old Randy Stoklos Kong block.
That's right.
And she saw that coming all over it. No hope. Even though Youngs tried to kick it up, you can kick the ball in beach volleyball. You can play it with any part of your body, but that wasn't in play.
4 blocks already. Oh, that's double contact. So the call made by Ryan McDowell, who's from Denver, Colorado. Dan Apol is our second official today from Castle Rock, Colorado. So both officials from the great state of Colorado. And interestingly, Elaine Youngs living in Durango, Colorado. No conspiracy theory, just pointing it out for you. 19-15 now. Youngs tapping high. Misty, no. Couldn't quite get that one. Youngs with some nice placement there.
But May and Walsh are in pretty good shape here. Generally speaking, the wind has been blowing a little bit right to left across your screen. That means the wind is slightly in May and Walsh's face. They're going to the good side with a 19-16 lead, just a couple of points from finishing out game 1.
Best 2 out of 3 games wins you the championship here. First 2 games are to 21, third and final game if we need it to 15, and we have needed it the last 2 weeks. So Youngs from the right side. Her team down by 3. Misty May hammers it.
Ladies and gentlemen, on your feet, game-point game number 1.
Well, Youngs here and Branagh a little bit frustrated. Branagh is responsible for taking this shot, but she didn't reach to her right enough as a blocker. Actually, might have been some miscommunication there. It looked like the angle was wide open, left by both the blocker and the defender.
Misty May will serve up the first game point at 20-16. Branagh goes on 2. Nice shot. Nicole Branagh on the left, taking a whack at it. And so Youngs and Branagh now discussing strategy.
And the one thing they have been good at, or one of the things they've been good at this match, is adjusting a little bit. Most of the tournament, Branagh was playing on the right side, but they have switched. About 1/3 into this game, Youngs went to the right.
Second game point. Kerri Walsh for the win. No! Youngs with the block.
Returning the favor on that angle block. Youngs also making the late move. You'll get to see it right here. She waits and dives to her left, taking away that Walsh angle. An even better view. Watch how she flies actually in the air, jumps sideways to take that shot to her left.
Third game point for May Walsh. And that will do it. In rally scoring, this serve costs you a point. And game 1 in the books. Kerri Walsh, Misty May win it 21-18. The AVP Crocs Tour Brooklyn Open will return after these messages from your local station. AVP Crocs Tour continuing. This is the Brooklyn Open presented by Cushman & Wakefield. May Walsh winning game 1. 21-18. Now for Beach Peak. Let's head down to the sand. Heather Cox with Kerry Walsh.
Thanks so much, Chris. And they get the win behind some great defense at the net. Kerry, after being disappointed with your blocking effort last week against Elaine and Nicole, as we take a look at the Beach Peak, what adjustments have you made at the net today?
You know, my goal is just to penetrate. I talked to Troy, our coach, over the weekend, and he watched the match from last week, and he said that I was kind of coming off in my block approach. I was going away from the net, so I'm really trying to kind of shadow the net and just get over. You know, these girls, Elaine hits pretty low. She hits dynamic angles, but hits low, so I'm just trying to take my area and let Misty do the rest behind me.
4 step blocks and a lot of soft blocks as well. You're getting the job done. Good luck in the second. Back to you.
May and Walsh with a fantastic record this season. 10 wins, 1 second, 1/3. You look at the numbers for Walsh. She's not getting served, so that kill total is very deceptive. Misty May getting most of the serves,
which is typical in a normal tournament, both domestically and abroad. May, the smaller player, most teams will try to get their points by serving May and forcing her to carry the offensive load.
Walsh has only received two balls, and Misty May with 8 receptions. Branagh with 13, Youngs with 4. So Branagh, Misty May getting most of the work. Chris Marlowe with Karch Karai, Mike Dodd, and Heather Cox. AVP on NBC. Nice up, Misty, poke it, yes! Well, Misty May, after being beaten on the cut shot a couple of times, she was ready.
You're never going to beat Misty May 3 times on that. Branagh saw that, or thought it was open. Look, May wasn't even in the picture when she touched that ball. But then Youngs left to decide whether to go short or deep. Leaned toward the short one and goes right over her head.
So now Branagh has to decide whether she can make the adjustment. She takes a rip, and Misty can't handle it. Let's go down to Mike Dodd. Mike.
Hey, Chris. Well, we've seen Elaine Youngs getting some work on the sidelines. I talked to the trainer. It's not the calf muscle. It's the thigh. It's just a little bit tight, and he's in there working it out, just trying to loosen it up. No big deal here on the sidelines.
Okay, Mike, thank you. 1-1, game 2. See a little video of them working on the right leg. Now Youngs will serve. Misty, nobody up, and the put away right down the middle. Let's take a look at the Cushman and Wakefield match stats from game 1. Branagh Youngs with the kill total, but look at the service errors and the blocks, Karch. That'll hurt you.
And the difference in those blocks, 3 points, accounting for the exact difference in the end of the game, 20 May and Walsh. So I think Branagh Young's still okay if they cut down their service errors and don't allow Walsh to block them down quite as much.
Misty shoveling it up for Walsh, and Walsh spanks it. So Kerry Walsh thought about this one all week, Karch. Another soft block.
Yes, she did. In fact, last week she had several of these types of opportunities and didn't hit them with as much authority as that ball right there. Youngs and Branagh were able to save some of those and win the point later in the rally in Boston, but not today.
And down the line goes Nicole Branagh.
And you could hear during that rally, Chris, they were talking about pushing it out. Watch how Youngs pushes the set farther out toward the sideline, and that opens up a lane for Branagh to actually hit it outside of the Walsh block, down, untouched to the sand.
3-2 our score. Youngs at the net, giving the signal. 1 is line, 2 is angle normally. Misty. Branagh is there. She guessed right. Nicole Branagh on the left. Kerry Walsh digging overhand. And she puts it away.
Wow. Who was that digging? Amazing play by Walsh. Let's watch it all in live play again. Listen to Walsh's call. Line, line, line. Then Branagh with the heat. And Walsh even harder.
Kerry Walsh told me this morning that that's one of the things that Troy Tanner, their new coach, has been emphasizing, bringing some different techniques. And Kerry Walsh has never been a great overhand digger. She came from an indoor background, but now she is, and she's getting that technique. And she said Troy Tanner is the one who got it for me. or at least who's emphasized it. Nice up, Youngs, and Walsh again.
And if you're going to be a great blocker, Chris, like Kerry Walsh is, you're going to be dropping off the net sometimes and get hit high. That's a dig that she has to make.
Walsh and May jump out. 5-2. Yeah. Bump, bump, bump. Bump, 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 bump. Bump, 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 bump. The remaining AVP Crocs schedule: Cincinnati, Las Vegas, San Francisco. You go to avp.com for tickets on sale. Of course, Karch unable to play this week because of the bad calf, but this morning getting a workout on the beach and testing the calf. And Karch, how did you feel out there?
Well, I felt great. I got here really early. Nobody was at the beach, so I found some guy sleeping under the pier who given me some sets there. I don't know who that guy is in the light blue shirt, but he's got some great hands. Actually jumped a little harder this week, just today. It felt much better than 2 days ago, so I'm hopeful.
Look at that. How could you miss that?
That set hits itself. That's what I don't know if I can hit the ball because that set just goes right down. Nice setting, Big Cy. I'm hoping to get that thing healthy in time for the final regular season event in Cincinnati next weekend.
All right, the voice of Karch. And we are in the midst of our women's championship final. Brooklyn Open presented by Cushman and Wakefield. May and Walsh won last year, trying to go back-to-back.
Branagh that time cranking the angle shot. That's a shot that she has not been able to get past the Walsh block earlier this match. Walsh so hot on the blocks now with 5 or 6.
Walsh and May trying to atone for the match last week when Branagh and Youngs were the dominant team. And they've done a much better job, especially tuning it up defensively. Serve there, though.
It starts with serves like that. This is the most aggressive serving team on the AVP Tour, Branagh Youngs, and they have to serve effectively to keep May and Walsh on their heels. That one goes down the middle. Now we'll see if Youngs can change direction and put it to one of the two sidelines.
By the way, the Karch bobblehead will be available next week in Cincinnati. There it is, Karch. There you are. Shaking like a leaf.
Isn't that Casey Jennings? I thought.
Those are going to be given out at the AVP Cincinnati Open, and that will be terrific fun. 5-4. Branagh, no, can't reach it. Is that the first bobblehead ever made of you?
The first one I know of. There have probably been some voodoo dolls out there, and people putting some needles in there, but no, I haven't seen the bobblehead before.
You know, do people remember that a woman once named a dog after you? Karch von Wienerdogen?
Karch von Wienerdogen, and then there was a lady in New Jersey who wanted to name her baby after Karch and Kent, but it's sounded too much like Clark Kent, so it was Karch Steffes were the first two names.
Misty taps. Walsh. Don't get Walsh mad. That's the motto today. 7-4.
Well, she's doing a much better job. Misty May talked about it at the top of the show, winning those long rallies. May and Walsh have been dominating those long rallies. Get the ball back here, and Walsh doesn't swing aggressively this time, but still puts the ball down to the sand much more efficiently than last week. A number of times she got dug.
Still looking for the banana boat. Longest lasting rally. Haven't seen it yet. Nice hit. Branagh challenging Kerry Walsh. You know, Walsh is so popular. I sat on the beach with her watching a match early today, and a stream of people come up to her constantly. You know what she does? She carries a Sharpie with her at all times when she's sitting down because she says it's too difficult to dig out pens. So she just keeps it with her for a steady stream of autographs. I thought that was a pretty good idea. Misty got it.
It's going to help her be able to watch the plays she wants to see. She's scouting the other
Exactly.
team,
That's
so
what she was doing.
She won't have to look down as much.
Nope.
And Walsh on this play doing a nice job of adjusting. That ball was a little too close, but still slipping it by the young.
You know how that goes when they come up to you, Karch. Karch, can I have your autograph? Sure. Well, do you have a pen? Oh, no. Maybe my buddy has one over here. Yeah, you got a pen?
You got to flag down the last person who got the autograph.
8-5. Game 2. Nice set. And Misty. Branagh will try it again. Walsh over the top. Nicole Branagh. Oh, Branagh with her 12th kill. May Walsh lead 1-0. And 8-6 here in game 2. Elaine Young's set to serve. Young's a bouncy athlete, always been very gifted. And spinning one down the line, just wide. 9-6 now.
Grew up with a whole slew of older brothers that taught her how to compete so hard. Played at UCLA. And one of the most fierce competitors in the world on the women's side.
Misty. Branagh again, down the line. Good calling by Elaine Young. Very clear, very confident, and when you're a hitter, that's what you really need in terms of positioning
And
shots.
the other thing she says several times is the old staccato like we talked about. She gets it out, line, 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 and right there, one of those three should clue in, get from the hitter's ears to the hitter's hand, and get that ball down into the open spot.
One of the all-time greats, Kathy Gregory, now the coach at UC Santa Barbara, used to emphasize that. You say line, line, line 3 times, it should stick. And the ball put away by Misty. So Misty May Trainer, of course, married to the baseball player Matt Trainer, who's upped his average to 295 coming into this week.
And they hadn't gotten to see each other since July 1st until May was able to catch an earlier flight after the final in Boston just 1 week ago and catch up, spend some time with him, go with the team on the charter to St. Louis for the week.
May's got it. And Young's a little karate. Didn't work.
Well, that was a strange play. Normally, that ball went way to Young's left shoulder. If it had gone to her right shoulder, I'd say go ahead and try and make that shot. Watch here. The ball's going to go to her left shoulder, but she tries to hit it with the right hand. Much better off she would be here if she just passes the ball up, gets off the net, and uses all 3 contacts to make a new offensive play.
11-7 now. Misty May. Back to Young's. And Young's with the kill. If you're wondering about the low sets, I think that's the way Branagh Young's like it. They like to go quicker against Walsh. Watch how low this set is. She just pounds it.
Well, especially Young's really likes that because she gets to run in harder and faster, and the more you can accelerate into your jump, the higher you're going to jump. And she prefers a much lower set so she can just come barreling in and transfer more of that horizontal momentum into vertical jump.
Elaine Young's bronze medalist from 2004 with Holly McPeak. Here comes Walsh, and Young's couldn't get there. Elaine Young's looked like she was going to get there in time, Karch, but couldn't retrieve it.
I think she's a little surprised that this wasn't closer to the line. She was right there, could have gotten 2 hands on it, but used one, a little frustrated with herself. 2 hands present a much more flat and broad platform with which to control the ball.
12-8, May Walsh. And right over the top.
9-12
goes Branagh. So Branagh with her 14th kill.
This has been her favorite shot over the last couple of weeks, hitting the high middle there, splitting the block of Kerry Walsh.
AVP on NBC will continue.
We got to do something because Misty's just hammering right now. And anytime she gets inside in the transition, she's going to go angle over jumbo shrimp. Okay?
Jeremy's here. That's cool.
So you got 2 choices. You either got to make an extreme step-in, jump-in block, or you switch it.
That's Coach Liz Massakayan. Strategy change may be coming here, Karch.
Well, when she talked to the second part was, or maybe switch it. That means serve the other player. They have not been giving very many serves to Kerry Walsh. They might do it now.
Here we go. Walsh has got it. 12-9's our score, and Walsh taps it over the top.
13-9.
So Kerry Walsh with the big hit. And now Misty May, who has 84 career wins. She's the winningest woman of all time. Only 4 players have ever won more tournaments, and they're all men. Karai, Smith, Stoklos, Steffes. And the put away. Well, one of the great stars on the AVP Tour is Jenny Johnson-Jordan. Jenny, assess your tournament this week. You guys finished 3rd.
I thought we had a very strong tournament. We won all our games up until this morning. We played Ewine Nicole, and
they just really had a strong serving performance against us. They killed us in the first game with their serves, and second game we were able to hang with them a little bit better.
Yeah, great game, 30-28 in that. 7 chances to win. Jenny, you won a couple of weeks ago in Chicago. What were you looking to build on with that since then, I don't think, in the finals?
Well, I think just winning in Chicago was a huge monkey off our back. It had been 5 years since we had won previously, and coming out of that tournament, we had a lot of confidence. Coming back here, and last weekend even in Boston with all the teams coming back. So we feel like we're just, we're improving every single weekend. We're playing more consistently.
Jenny, May and Walsh losing last week. Do you see a big difference in their intensity this week?
I do, actually. They're really going for it. They're a little more tentative on the serve than I thought, but they're playing great volleyball, consistent. They're scoring a lot of points in this game.
Both you and your partner have expanded and have 2 children now over the last few years. Any plans in the works to grow the family?
I don't think on our side, no. Annette, I think, is a little more open to it than I am, so that's to be continued. Well,
congratulations on that. You both have been great role models for how to be a great mother and a great competitor in the field, on the sports courts also.
Thank you, Card.
All right, Jenny, Jordan, Youngs, and Branagh a little exasperated at the way things are going here in game 2. Yeah, Young's upset, and maybe she should be. It's 15-10. They're down.
She's got to be a little careful. Mike Lambert, very frustrated last week in Boston, dislocated one of his fingers, slamming a chair down after a disappointing loss in the semifinals to Casey Jennings and Matt Furbringer, having to wrap his finger probably for the next few weeks, but he said he learned a lesson, not going to slam any more chairs.
Davis and Jordan finished 3rd, along with Jen Boss and April Ross. Great finishes for Diane Denekeshe and Barbara Fontana. Also, Angie Akers and Brooke Hansen got 5th. Dodd and Manello, Michelle Moore, and Suzanne Stonebarger finished 7th. I believe that's a career high for Stonebarger. Not quite clear, but a great finish for them.
And just below that, Turner and Wacholder with an unusually low 9th place finish after making a number of finals on this tour earlier in the 07 season.
Of course, teams jockeying for position for the final invitational tournament of the year. Is that in Las Vegas? Top 8 teams go, Karch?
There are 2, actually. The individual event in Las Vegas, and then the top 8 teams in San Francisco.
That's the one I was thinking about. Nice up by Youngs. And a better block by Kerry Walsh. She said she would be motivated today, and she has 6 stuff blocks to prove it.
So she is doubling her average so far this season, about 1.5 a game. Nice up by Youngs there, but trying to be a little too aggressive. Even Walsh said it in the interview before game 2, that Elaine Youngs will try to hit some radical angles, but they're not crossing the net by but a few inches. So if she gets her hands across the net, she's going to be in good shape. 16-11 now. And Youngs with a nice chop back the other way. So Youngs and Branagh are in trouble here in game 2. They trail May and Walsh 1-0 and need to rally when we come back. On the shores of Coney Island, the AVP Crocs Tour continuing with the Brooklyn Open presented by Cushman and Wakefield. It's been a beautiful weekend, and now let's go down to Heather Cox standing by with Misty May.
Misty, 5 points away from the championship. What do you guys do to keep the momentum going?
Well, we know EY is fired up right now, and I told Carrie, coming out of this side change, she's going to blast her serve. So if we can't get it to the spot, let's just put it up. But we really got to break their serves at this point in time. In Massachusetts, when they were fired up, they kept bombing their serves and got us in trouble. So, Carrie and I, we're not really too concerned with the score right now. We just want this next side out and take the match from here.
Certainly concerned about those emotions. And right now we'll check in with Nicole Branagh, who's with Mike Dodd.
Thank you, Heather. Nicole, your partner, EY, if she does have a weakness, maybe sometimes she tries to do too much on the court. Seems like she got in that state a little bit here in game 2. What do you do as a partner? Do you try to calm her down, or do you just let her flow with it?
I let her flow. EY is EY, and I'm me, and that's the way that she plays, and she's intense and wants to dominate, and she does. She's a good player.
So you got to get your serves going, I think, in this game, too, to get yourself back.
Yes, we need to get our serves going and get some point scoring going as well. So
good luck here in game 2. Chris Karchi, back up to you guys.
So Branagh and Youngs trying to maintain or regain their composure, Karch. You think Youngs is a good player when she's mad, or you think that is a detrimental factor?
Well, we saw her make one strange play earlier when she tried to hit the ball over from with her right hand way over to her left side. Not a very effective play. So she might be a little better just calming down a tiny bit right now. Remember, they were down by 4 points in game 3 last week, came back to win. They can do it here too.
Kerry Walsh with the tap. So make it 17-12.
The only risk that you take, Chris, as a beach volleyball player is you only have one teammate, and if you start showing too much frustration, it can be read maybe by your partner that you're frustrated in the partner rather than in yourself. And so that's where you have to try to keep it positive, keep buoying, raising your partner's spirits up.
Branagh, nice pinball defense by May Walsh. Try it again. Set was off. Misty's got it. Misty May. Oh, what a dig! And it's going out of bounds.
Hard shot.
Folks, you have just seen the longest lasting rally of the match, brought to you by Banana Boat. You can log on to avp.com right now, /BB, and register for your chance to win a trip to the AVP event at Caesars Palace. Banana Boat Sport providing long-lasting coverage.
And Misty May has been doing these one-handed digs off the hard-driven balls all day long. Saw her do one in the semifinals. And I was sitting right behind her dad. He yelled out, "Lucky!" I said, "What? Didn't you teach her that?" He said, "No, even I can't teach her that one."
12 kills. Make it digs now for May Trainer. Misty. Now Kerry Walsh will serve. 18-12.
In line.
Nice back set. And off balance. Branagh stumbles and taps it over.
Yeah, with almost no jump. Still puts it over the Walsh block here. Watch, she trips on some sand or something. Gets no jump, but somehow slips it beyond Walsh, just into that open spot on the court. But it's now or never, and yet Branagh is not going to serve that aggressively now, going away from the jump serve just to the float.
Well, you can't afford to make mistakes, and this would keep the ball in play, but can they block? Can they dig? Try Kerry Walsh. And Walsh smacks it home.
Walsh looking really strong offensively here, and I don't think this short serve was able to challenge her enough. She makes the easy pass, and when that ball is in front of her, when she keeps it in front of her, she sees the defense so well. She can see Youngs going to her right, the defender, Branagh, running around to the left.
I want to correct one thing I said. I said Michelle Moore and Suzanne Stonebarger had a career-high 7th. That's their best finish this year, but they did have 2 5ths a year ago. Just to clarify, as Branagh pounds one through. So Nicole Branagh has not given up.
And going back to her original strategy of hitting high off the Kerry Walsh hands, Young's now back trying to find which corner she would like to serve some, but get some mustard on this ball.
May and Walsh closing in. 19-14. Youngs, nice serve. And a beautiful bump set. Big play here. Young's got to have it. Nobody up, and she hammers it through. So Kerry Walsh pulling off, and Young's getting a free swing there.
Well, the one thing you want to do as a blocker, and Kerry Walsh wasn't able to do it this time, is to stay and wait and watch the set. She's going to drop off here. Didn't wait quite long enough to see that. Oh, wow, that went within 2 feet of the net. Probably should stay up and block that.
19-15 as Youngs, Branagh try to rally here. Game 2. Here's Misty tapping, yes. The best in the business at that shot. Rolling line.
Ready to establish back the normal order, and that is May and Walsh, 15-1 in tournament finals, now at tournament point.
Championship point.
May and Walsh beaten a week ago in Boston. They didn't like the feeling. They came out this weekend energized, rejuvenated, with a little motivation. Kerry Walsh will serve it up. And a little jump floater into the bottom of the net. So the first championship point goes overboard. And game point, match point, championship point number 2 coming up. Branagh will serve. Branagh Youngs need a serving run here. Kerry Walsh will have a chance for the win. She's got it!